the people who are suddenly shocked that why Australia is bad in T20, 2 हफ्ते पहले हमारा preview सुन लिया होता तो you would have heard me say that Australia is the team I expect to not qualify for the Super 8. That is the one group, and I kept saying it. Sri Lanka to 100% number. Zimbabwe ka number 1 hona was a big shocker for me as well. I did not expect them, but
so अभी मैंने लगा दिया है, ये अपने Super 8s हैं. So Group 1, yeah, I have a giant problem. See, you know what has happened is because India, South Africa, West Indies, Zimbabwe are together. You know why? Because these freaks want to keep India and Pakistan in the same group in weaker teams, and they want India and Pakistan again in the second group. नहीं तो तू एक बात बता, ये चारों नंबर 1 है उस ग्रुप के.
नहीं, because ये बकवास है ना. So what they do?
India, Zimbabwe, West Indies, South Africa, चारों अपने ग्रुप्स को टॉप किए और चारों टॉपर ये ग्रुप में आ गए. Is this the right combination?
Absolutely not. This is stupid because there is no incentive for topping the group. The group stage खिलाओ मतलब they do this weird shit called pre-tournament seeding. देखो, this World Cup in terms of league stage and stuff has one of the fairest tournaments formats where you have 20 teams and everyone gets a shot. But then you can't do this dumb shit that whatever you do in the group stage is irrelevant as long as the other team sort of qualified. It should have been India, South Africa, Sri Lanka, and England as the teams, and not this nonsense. And West Indies and Zimbabwe should have been with New Zealand and Pakistan in that other group. And the other, because this is also because of this fiasco where they want to keep Sri Lanka playing all their home games in Colombo. See, a lot of people are not saying that this is the reason why Sri Lanka was defaulted in Group 2, because Group 2 plays all their games in Sri Lanka, and Group 1 plays all their games in India. So this way it keeps Sri Lanka there. Now, if you want this this sort of fiasco, this is going to happen. You cannot just do it on pre-tournament seeding. You have to do it where, okay, if Sri Lanka is Group 2, then this game happens in Sri Lanka and this game happens in India, and you have to trust the people to show up to that game. You cannot just decide before the tournament which game is happening where.
I don't know. It's just irritating.
Yeah, this is pointless. Or
all the group toppers are in Group 1.
No, and this has been one of the most spectacular World Cups in terms of competitiveness.
क्या matches हुए हैं, क्या matches हुए हैं, unbelievable. और
and first of all,
मैंने कनाडा का बोला था सबको, ladies and gentlemen, मैंने आप लोगों को हिंट दिया था,
बहुत बड़ा. But can we
talk? बड़ा हिंट दिया था मैंने आप लोगों को, कितना एडवांस में हिंट दिया था.
कनाडा की बात करेंगे, but there are two things I want to talk, because India got a lot of shit. Indian crowds got a lot of shit for not showing up for non-India games, but boy they showed up.
Kudos. अरे मुंबई का क्राउड देख बॉस, नेपाल वर्सेस स्कॉटलैंड के गेम में क्राउड देखा.
अरे भाई, अब the South Africa Afghanistan game in Ahmedabad, 55,000 people,
54,000 people turned up.
And
बॉस कौन से देश में आएंगे ऐसे गेम को देखने के लिए क्राउड?
The funniest thing is, and again, I mean, we started by laughing at the BCCI, this podcast, right? So we don't have to prove our credentials of how much we've criticized.
We laughed at the ICC.
Sorry, we have also upgraded our taking on. But I have criticized the facilities sometimes at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, but I get very angry when people say people don't show up. And so when people did, you know what these morons who keep shitting on, and I will defend my city here, say, अरे 300 रुपए की टिकट रखी थी तो सब आएंगे ना. अरे क्या बकवास है. अगर 1000 रुपए की टिकट रखो तो देयर लाइक के भाई 1000 रुपए की टिकट रखी इसीलिए लोग नहीं आए. 300 की रखो तो 300 की रखेंगे. There are 54,000 people who decided to show up for a neutral game at 3:30, not at 7:30, at 3:30.
Yes.
It's not
रात की होती थी भाई, रात की होती थी तो और आते थे.
You watch what happens in India, South Africa. अभी है ही ना Super 8 की game, and see how many people show up in Ahmedabad. 70,000-80,000 से कम आए तो नाम बदल देना मेरा. People will come, and it's not just that. In Chennai, for a Afghanistan-Canada game or an Afghanistan, which game I forgot, 18,000 people showed up. People have showed up across India. Eden Gardens, you had people showing up. The
Wankhede to amazing crowd every time, 18 to 25,000, 30,000.
Wankhede Stadium. No, I want to say Wankhede Stadium, Kathmandu. Because नेपाल की टीम का क्या सपोर्ट मिला है वानखेड़े में. It was
मजा आ गया. वो तो मैच आउटस्टैंडिंग था, मजा आया.
Yeah, the England Nepal game there, the Italy game, that was amazing. Getting them getting their first victory. Kabir Bedi cheering them in the stands. I mean, there are some stunning stories here. Scotland running a couple of teams very close in the World Cup. Afghanistan and South Africa's epic game, two super overs. And
can we say that is the greatest T20 match ever?
Yeah, undoubted. Well, okay. So the India-Pakistan first ever 2007 World Cup final is, in my opinion, the greatest T20 game ever because of what it did to the game of T20 cricket. Had that final not happened, IPL probably would not happen in the shape it did. It changed cricket as a whole, that one final. But after that, I think this is probably the second best game. And if this was a knockout game, I would probably put it the greatest ever. But since this is a league game, and Afghanistan was unlucky. I mean, they played stunningly well. They had one average game against New Zealand, but they were still a very good team. And as we predicted, that group itself with South Africa, New Zealand, Afghanistan was a tough group, right? And Kushal's favorite team, Canada. Now, Kushal, you talk about Canada. The floor is yours.
बॉस मतलब मैंने तो आप लोगों को सिर्फ इतना बोला था कि प्लीज पे अटेंशन टू द कैनेडियन टीम एंड the match I tweeted about, it was the New Zealand match. You get 5 runs, 2 wickets, 2 overs. You have 2 off spinners, but Bajwa bowls himself. So वाह रे बाजवे,
वाह बाजवा जी का तो क्या कहें.
Yeah, the guy was not even in the team 4 months ago. Comes and becomes captain.
Truly unbelievable. So
it's amazing.
One thing I'll say,
Canada is amazing, boss. Canadian team, but I don't know about you. Were you slightly disappointed with the American team? I was.
Yeah, because I think we were expecting a lot more. So, okay, to be fair, I think that Pakistan game and the India game, they ran us very close. There were times where they could have run away with the game. Netrawalkar who was the hero of their World Cup last time, had a horrendous spell against India. Like Suryakumar Yadav went ballistic against him, and had Netrawalkar bowled well,
Surya destroyed him in that last over.
Yeah, so USA, I mean, they lost by what, 29-30 runs against India. They had a chance, and at 77 for 6, sabke gote muh mein aa gaye the, to quote Ravi Shastri. Against Pakistan, I think Monank Patel, the captain, did not play well at all. Like their start was pretty good, and he came and scored 2 of 10 balls or something like that, and he just looked very average. But I have a little bit of sympathy with US. Their team showed that they have not been playing competitive cricket at that level, and that's what showed. It was rusty. They were not a bad team. They were just rusty because they would compete to a point, but they did not know how to finish games. And this is a wake-up call for the ICC. You almost have to have these associate teams doing that. And the way my perspective is, say India is going to Australia for a T20, for a test match series, and they're playing 3 T20s. ICC should reimburse the board to do a tri-series between India, Australia, and say USA or something. So you'll still get the 3 T20s that India and Australia are doing, but then USA comes and plays 4 T20s, or Ireland comes and play 4. This is easily you can do. England mein koi team ja rahi hai, Ireland can be a part of that tri-series. Zimbabwe can do the same for South Africa. There are associate, Afghanistan to obviously kahin pe bhi ja sakta hai, but there are 6 or 7 teams that need continuous cricket at this level, and the ICC can absolutely make it happen.
Yeah, for me, they have the highest wicket taker, but overall, I think slightly below par performance by the Americans.
Correct.
If I look at the other teams, we have to spend some time, boss.
But
Sikandar Raza and Zimbabwe.
No, so we'll go group by group, right? So pehle baat karenge India, fantastic, rusty start against US. Pakistan ko pel diya, fir pelte gaye. The Netherlands game was a bit of a, surprising, and I want to give a shout out to Netherlands. They ran India close, they ran Pakistan close. They pretty much dominated the game against Namibia. USA ke samne they lost again by that 30-run margin, but fantastic by
Honestly, they would have beaten Pakistan had that guy not dropped the catch.
Correct. And in against India, boss, if Shivam Dube does not score the runs he does, finally Shivam Dube looked absolutely awful in the first 3 games, but he came through. They persisted with him, but I'm still not convinced. The biggest shocker for India, and please wake up call, is Abhishek Sharma. क्या कर रहा है यार भाई वो?
3 duck.
Unbelievable. Like this is just unbelievable. I mean, I know what ठोक रहा है and ठोकता है, but he's unfortunately going the Shahid Afridi route if he does not wake up. And this is like a big,
So
big,
what I think is happening is they are opening with a spinner against him and they are cramping him. They're not giving him that usual room.
Correct.
What he should do is, I don't know why he has to, try to smash every wall.
Yeah.
He should just take a single, get his eye in, and then, he can score fast anytime later on. I think it's just a matter of getting off the mark and getting that monkey off his back. I don't know why he's not doing it.
No, and yes.
In the last 7 matches, he's had 5 ducks.
Correct. Insane. That's insane.
And in this World Cup, it's 3 ducks in a row. But overall, team is looking fine. I think my biggest worry is the amount of catches we have dropped. I think 9 catches we dropped.
And
9 catches, if my memory serves me correctly. 9 catches we have dropped. I think it's ridiculous for a team of our caliber. And what is shocking is Tilak Verma dropping all those catches. Apni bowling pe drop kiya, boundary pe drop kiya 2 baar. Tilak has dropped.
It's just been very mediocre. Yeah. It's just been mediocre, our field. Like, we have not fielded. That is why I put in my tweet that can we repeat? Because if you want, first of all, Zimbabwe, it's not a pushover team. South Africa to hai hi nahi. So our team is not we could technically not even qualify for the semi-finals if we drop 1 game against South Africa, because South Africa can win it all. And so I think, and obviously Zimbabwe and West Indies have shown that they can beat the best of the best. So yeah. And again, don't forget, the last tournament West Indies won was in India. They know how to play in Indian conditions, bhai. And
Bradford,
IPL. So agreed completely. I mean, they better freaking understand what's going on and stuff. But now to your point about Group B and Sikandar Raza. So far, the player of the tournament for me.
Boss, kya captain hai yaar banda.
Excellent. And a lot of old players for Zimbabwe coming back. So Graham Creamer, who was a spinner when I was growing, dekho, Kushal or मैं, we don't pretend to hide our age. Any cricketer who's older than me biologically in age is an older cricketer जिसको मैं देख चुका हूँ live. ठीक है? Graham Creamer, I have seen live when I was growing up. Like, I mean, in my 20s, he used to play for Zimbabwe. He's 39 or close to 40. And he came back for this tournament. He's been excellent. He's a leg break bowler. He picked up wickets against Sri Lanka, bowled very well. 2 for 27. Boss, these are going to be a big thing against India in Chennai. If their spinner Sikandar Raza, Graham Creamer, they're all going to come into play against Chennai. We are playing against Zimbabwe in Chennai. It's not going to be an easy game for us. And by the way, someone said I didn't talk about the Chennai crowd. I did. I said 18,000 people show up in the chat. So please rewind. Chennai ka crowd has been excellent. So they have been good. The second thing about Zimbabwe is, if you look at their openers and Tariwanshi Marumani, Brian Bennett and all that, they are younger players. One is 22, one is 24. So this is not the old Zimbabwe where आधे लोग retirement पे की कगार पे. There are 2-3 people that are old, that are experienced, but they are professional. So Sikandar Raza might be old, but he's a professional T20 player. He plays in the Big Bash. He plays in English County, right? I think IPL maybe squad mein to hai wo. He has played for Punjab before, if I'm not mistaken. So these are good, solid players with T20 experience around the world. So yeah, I think Zimbabwe to me has been one of the stories of the tournament. Outstanding. And this is great here, because they are hosting the next World Cup, 50-50 World Cup. So if you look at Twitter, the Zimbabweans are reacting on Twitter and stuff, the diaspora, the Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe. So yeah, I mean, there is online support as well. So I think people are slowly catching up.
I'm just waiting for Zimbabwe versus Pakistan if it happens. क्या वो मिस्टर बीन का बदला अभी फिर से लेंगे?
You never know. You never know. But yeah, and Sri Lanka in that group, excellent. Yes, they had one game against Zimbabwe, which was, close game. But again, this is a format. Anything can happen. Australia, like we predicted, they would beat Australia down. They've beaten everyone else. They are in home conditions. They are always a good team to reckon with. So Sri Lanka has been good. But man, Australia. Yeah. Do they not take
I think they don't take T20 seriously, boss. I don't know why.
Okay, but that is one way to say it. But that can we also admit another thing? They just don't have good T20 players. I think we are all children of the 90s and early 2000s who think Australia is this big behemoth.
KKR to Sangeet Som by Cameron Green ka refund dilwana.
Nice. My super chat of the day. This is excellent. No, but I'm saying Australia just doesn't have good T20 players. तूने नहीं है. I think we just overrate them because they are a great 50 over team. They're a great test match team. And we just think, how can Australia be bad? Australia बुरा कैसे हो सकता है? But है वो.
No, they've clearly had a talent crunch. It's reflecting in their other cricket setup too. Otherwise, उनके बहुत सारे player अभी तक retire हो चुके होते थे.
Correct. So I mean that
because there's basically nobody coming and pushing them.
No one. And the unfortunate part is that they are even on Big Bash and stuff, which, by the way, and we'll talk about T20 tournaments at the end, because I also want to talk about that English news about IPL and Pakistan players and so forth. I don't know if you've read the news.
Oh, I know. वो Tim Wigmore का जो article आया Telegraph.
But वो एक second बाद बात करेंगे. I have heard rumors that Big Bash is planning to host a few games in India next year.
Opening game. So I have the news on that. They're planning to host the opening game. I have the media bite for that. Wait, I will play it. एक minute. Play it. I had picked it up, but कहाँ गया? You spoke about Australia. I think this meme is good.
कौन सा दिखाइए भाई?
Josh Hazelwood for Ashes T20 play. Josh Hazelwood now applying for IPL is approaching. I condemn such behavior.
जावेद अख्तर इज लाइक मुझे क्यों तोड़ा?
अरे एक और हमारा भी है. ये बहुत अच्छा है. ये बहुत अच्छा है. ये है तिलक वर्मा के ऊपर. ये मस्त था. ये मेरे को बहुत हंसी आई. ये देख तिलक वर्मा.
25. अरे 25 नहीं भैया, 1000 लेकर 25. अबे यार 25 के आगे 26 आता है, 27 आता है, 28 आता है, 25. अरे यार
तीनों मैच में 25 बनाया है भाई ने अपने. तीनों मैच में 25 बनाया अपना तिलक. अरे हाँ, अभी मैं तेरे को बताता हूँ. बीबीएल का जो न्यूज था वो इधर ये सेन क्रिकेट जो है शो उसमें आया था. ये बाइट आई थी. So I don't know. This is courtesy Sen Cricket, so I don't know if how true or how false it is. ये भरत और ये लोग बात कर रहे थे उसके बारे में. This is the bit.
Cricket Australia's bold plan to play the first game of next season's Big Bash, not in Sydney, not in Perth, not even in Townsville or Auckland, not even in Singapore, but in India, and ideally in Chennai. Now, this is not just a thought bubble at Cricket Australia. There were two senior staffers who travelled to Chennai recently to scope out the city and the venue for a BBL season opener. One was Phil Rigby, the head of business operations. The other was Margot Harley, the head of competition development and strategy. And the key point is this. This is all part, and you know this very well, Baz. This is all part of Cricket Australia's wider strategy to lean into the Indian influence. Clubs are aware of this ambition, though no franchise has been formally asked yet. Now, for a variety of reasons that I won't go into today, we don't have time, I think the Perth Scorchers will be at the front of the queue if this does get sorted. Clearly, there's political considerations as well, such as convincing the BCCI. Now, it's not done yet, but things are moving for the first game of BBL 16 to be in India. Baz, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, I guess it kind of feeds into the imminent arrival of private investment into the BBL to start with. And I mean, look, the NRL took their took their opening game to Vegas. And India is the Vegas of cricket in some ways, right? So it does make sense to take it to a city which has some deep connections with Australian cricket as well. Or so many great Australians have gone and played for Chennai.
Mhm.
So point is, ये सब लंबी बातें करके कोई मतलब नहीं है. There is
Correct.
only one market in cricket, India,
India. Yeah.
and eventually they just. Well, this is
No,
huge. Like for an Australian league to
correct.
even consider having its opener in India is just insane.
So I think there is another good message, hidden message as well here, because I follow the NFL very closely in America, and what they've done in NFL here is they've taken games. They have a game in Brazil, they have 2 or 3 games in England. Now they are having one game in Melbourne as well, and they are having like pretty much every year there are 9 to 10 international or 7 to 8 international games happening, because that is slowly opening up the markets. Ultimately, now cricket is going that route. I will not be surprised if IPL actually starts this, where there are about 4 or 5 games happening in London or 4 or 5 games happening in Australia and stuff, because IPL's schedule gives you that flexibility. If it's a March, like a beginning of March to end of April, May thing, right? Maybe you can have a few games in Australia, Dubai, or India. Mein to hybrid IPL ho hi chuka hai. So I think this is the way forward. If you want more people to watch franchise league cricket, you have to take league cricket to them and hope that local people get engaged and stuff. The other interesting thing I want to say, Kushal, is we've always had cricket now catered to India's time, right? Will we see this situation where now cricket is catered at a standard time, which is favorable to India, but not to India prime time? So let me give you an example.
I think so.
No, it may happen. So let me give you an example. The NFL here starts at 1 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. That's where the most of the games take place. The international games, which happen in Europe, started about 9 a.m. Eastern. Okay, because they saw that people will watch from 9 to 12 or something, but that is a good time for Europe to watch. So they could technically do a 4 to 8 p.m. Saturday or a Sunday game for India, which most Indians will watch if it's a week rather than doing
इंडियंस इतने वेले हैं, वो गली क्रिकेट भी देख लेते हैं, तो उनको तो कुछ भी चलेगा.
या 12 बजे का गेम देखेंगे संडे दोपहर का, राइट? बट दैट if you do a 2 p.m. game or a 12 p.m. or a 4 p.m. game in Sunday, that's a 9 p.m. game in Australia. So that works out in both time zones. So how does that situation happen? That's what we have to see now. Next, what is the time it will start? When will people show up for the game? Because Chennai is not Dharamsala. It's not going to be very lovely conditions to play at 3 p.m. IST if you do it in peak summer, right? So we'll see when I mean BBL hai to shayad November December mein hoga, so maybe it will be more comfortable to play. So we'll have to see what are those factors that come into place.
Yeah. Now let's talk about this other article broken by Telegraph Cricket.
No, but let's just hold on. Before that, let's just finish up the groups, right? So West Indies again. I have to doff my hat, man. I actually thought West Indies had no chance to win all their games. मुझे लगा England जीत जाएगा, but man, they have been excellent. Like, credit where it's due. I actually thought the West Indies were not ready to play as a team, but man, I've been proven wrong, and I'm so happy to be proven wrong. And I'm so happy that people are complimenting for West Indies for being the team they are, rather than being nostalgia merchants. Oh, bhai, we grew up with West Indies playing so well and blah blah blah. Fuck that. They've been playing well. Give the credits to the players right now. And the biggest credit goes to Shea Hope. Like, Shea Hope has been excellent. Right? And same for like people
ये
like
तो freeze क्यों हो गया तेरा कैमरा?
Really? अभी भी freeze है?
अभी
ठीक है?
अभी ठीक है. नहीं तो इतनी देर से तो ऐसा था.
No idea. अब ठीक है ना? मैं actually I was looking at the scorecard on the other side, तो मैंने वो खोल रखा था. But if I'm freezing again and again, chat, please let me know.
हो रहा है तू freeze, तो तूने कुछ brightness setting change किया, उसको वापस normal कर दे.
हाँ, hold on, let me just. Sadly, I'm recording from a dark room. So I had adjusted.
नहीं वो मत कर, नॉर्मल पे आ जा तू. उसके लिए फ्रीज हो रहा है वो
हाँ
पिक्सेलेशन की वजह से होता है.
ओके ठीक है, अब ठीक है,
अभी ठीक है.
चलो good. So yeah, this is unfortunately pretty bad for England that they were downplayed that badly by West Indies, but you know they corrected their act और ठीक ठाक खेला था rest of the tournament, but West Indies excellent, and I think it's very happy, it's good for world cricket basically. That West Indies is playing. Nepal का मुझे यार समझा आया. Nepal, there were so many games they got so close, right? Against England.
South Africa, they should have won यार.
नहीं, it's not South Africa. नेपाल की बात कर रहा हूँ भाई. They should have.
Sorry, England.
They should have beaten England, but then उसके बाद the wheels just came off. Against Italy, they got complete. I mean, they're ass kicked. They lost by 10 wickets with 44 balls remaining, and then finally they got their act together against Scotland. But Nepal is a far better team than that. मुझे पता नहीं. I think that England game just killed their confidence. वो जो 4 रन से हार गए ना, because they should have won that. They completely lost that. But now we can talk about Afghanistan. Boss, close game against New Zealand. Insane. The game of the century against, I shouldn't say century, game of the World Cup against South Africa. What a crazy game. That group felt unfair. I think Afghanistan should have gone through, but you know, you almost felt that when they lost to South Africa, it was game over. Khatam. And South Africa has just been a juggernaut since. Like, Canada के सामने जीत गए. They won comfortably against New Zealand, against UAE very comfortably as well. और Canada की तो क्या बात करें भाई, कुशल की favorite team. Just bad. But yeah, Afghanistan should have won that game. Gurbaz, I don't know what they were thinking. It's just bad. It's just bad the way they lost. अब बात कर सकते हैं next phase की.
Yeah, I think अभी कल का मैच है पाकिस्तान न्यूजीलैंड. Considering the pitch conditions, I think Pakistan should do well.
They should do well, but New Zealand has this weird way of just get peaking in these tournaments. This Super 8 is made for New Zealand. But when you think they're down and out, they are like a team of the quarterfinals. They always semi-final में उनको कुछ हो जाता है और हक देते हैं. But they are the
यार देख इंग्लैंड तेरे को लगता है इंग्लैंड आने वाला है?
नहीं, I don't consider England.
मेरे हिसाब से न्यूजीलैंड पाकिस्तान ही होगा क्योंकि श्रीलंका भी थोड़ा इफी लग रहा है मेरे को.
So Sri Lanka Pakistan is going to be, to me, the game to watch. जो वो game जीता, they will be the second team to qualify for the Super 8s. New Zealand has a solid chance of doing it. But honestly, this group has benefited from West Indies and Zimbabwe not being there, because if West Indies and Zimbabwe were there, I would have 100% said both of them have a better chance because of the bowling attacks. Zimbabwe has, and in West Indies because of the power hitting. Because Pakistan would have had no chance against the West Indies. So ultimate winner तो group A में से ही आने वाला है World T20 का. It will be between India, South Africa, West Indies and Zimbabwe. But the other two semi-final teams में I don't see England going through. It would be fun to see them going through because they play the T20 cricket with a little bit of tadka, a little bit of chip over their shoulder. But yeah, I don't see them beating Sri Lanka or Pakistan.
Yeah, I
am really scared of India, boss. Like, I am scared for India. I actually think if we drop catches the way we have, that game against South Africa is going to be a very tough one. To beat them it's not going to be easy. They are fresh from South Africa T20. They know the Indian conditions. They have a behemoth in David Miller, who's played 2 seasons of the IPL or 3 seasons of the IPL on this freaking stadium. It is not going to be an easy game.
अहमदाबाद में है ना मैच, नरेंद्र मोदी स्टेडियम में.
Yes, and so and David Miller has that thing कि भाई he did not see them through last time. So this is a solid team. And Abhishek
Sharma,
तो
मार्को यानसन यार पहली बॉल से आके चौका छक्का मारता है, क्या इरिटेटिंग आदमी है वो.
He has been a more impact player with the bat than Abhishek Sharma in this T20 World Cup.
भाई अभिषेक शर्मा से तो ज्यादा कोई भी हो सकता है ना.
Also, can we also talk how disgraceful that Star Sports ad was about South Africa and stuff?
क्या है यार, क्यों है ये लोग ऐसे, मतलब क्यों है हम लोग ऐसे?
मतलब that was one of the few times where I felt very good that I'm glad that South Africa games were not being broadcast. Also, kudos to Willow Cricket. They did a fantastic thing. For all USA games, they streamed them for free on YouTube. That was very good. And I saw more people were watching. Like it was promoted, came on people's timelines, and so I was able to watch the game. Man, मुझे तो पता भी नहीं था. The first game was US India. I'm like, साला ये free YouTube पे free में क्यों आ रहा है? What is this going on? So then I saw that Willow is doing that. I think ICC needs to encourage that in countries like, if this should have been in Italy. Why can't Italy get all the Italy games for free on YouTube? Except for the big three or the big 6 or 7, all countries, associate nations should have cricket matches cricket matches being shown for free on YouTube. ICC के पास उतना पैसा है, they can do this and they'll make more money on YouTube revenue.
तो ये हमारा सुपर चैट देखना, एसोसिएट टीम प्लेयर्स शुड प्ले इन 100 इंस्टेड ऑफ पाकिस्तान.
चलो बात कर ही लेते हैं उस आर्टिकल के बारे में.
Yeah, so ये basically ये आर्टिकल आया था टेलीग्राफ में. पाकिस्तानी players will not be signed by the 4 Indian-owned franchises in the next month's auction. So भाई, some of the people who have said is ECB believes in inclusion और ये. तो भाई मेरे को एक बात बताओ, उनकी इंग्लिश प्रीमियर लीग रशियंस को क्यों नहीं करती?
करेक्ट.
इतना इंक्लूजन है तो रशियंस को क्यों नहीं करते? यार ये सब बकवास है. They should just stop this drama. मेरा सिंपल पॉइंट है, I have a capitalist take on this, okay? If I have paid 100 rupees for this team, I get to decide who plays in my team. You don't tell me who I play. If you have a problem, don't take my money and return my money back with interest.
Correct.
And I go.
Correct. Agreed completely.
Simple. There is no, I don't care about the morality argument. It's a business decision. And geopolitics and sport are involved. For people who think they are not, you're morons. And what do you make of this entire, Pakistan ने जो चूतिया बनाया बांग्लादेश को? मतलब ऐसा चूतिया काटा बांग्लादेश का. बांग्लादेश बोल रहा है, अबे हरामी साले हमको, यार तू लड़. The India-Bangladesh relations are being repaired as we speak. For Tariq Rahman swearing in, you had the Indian side very well represented. Bangladesh knows they have to deal with India. You just cannot stop dealing with India based on the whims and fancies of General Asim Munir Janab and Shabazz G's thing, who themselves have no idea what the hell they're doing with US or stuff like that. So that realization has hit Bangladesh. The BCB was taken, literally उनका चुतिया ही काटा है. BCB को पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है, and ultimately they not only played the India game, they played everything. They're going to play, और अगर qualify हुआ तो they know the semifinals and finals will take place in Colombo. They are okay to play there. The biggest loser in this was Bangladesh. And for what reason? का बिना बात का चूतिया काटा.
They could have actually negotiated saying Bangladesh के players को IPL में खेलने दो, and honestly BCCI would have had some sort of a weird thing कि एक साल के बाद खेलने देंगे and things like that. In fact, they lost both the ICC, and I kept saying their group, they had a great chance with 3 games being played in Eden Gardens. उनको उतना travel भी नहीं करना था. BCCI gave them a very favorable schedule, and I am 100% sure they would have beaten England in Kolkata. 100% sure. They probably would have been in the Super 8s. But Bangladesh ki matlab, the insanity, the level of insanity that exists in the BCB and them, and the funny part is, if you look at clips, because YouTube, Instagram pe aate rehte wo Pakistan Idol ke and this and that, they are trying to promote Bangladeshi singers there, or Pakistan or Bangladesh ke flags aate and stuff like that.
I think ये promote करना चाहिए. ये बहुत अच्छा मूव है. गाना
ये उनका वार्म अप वीडियो है.
हाँ, ये देखना. क्या लोग ले रहे हैं वो लोग का.
ये साला स्ट्रेंजर थिंग्स का ऑडिशन रखता है rather than
अरे यार लोग क्या ले रहे हैं यार वो बाबर और रिजवान के वार्म अप को.
so funny यार.
हरामी लोग स्टेडियम में कर रहे थे. स्टेडियम में कर रहे थे.
और उनके सामने
ये देख दोनों चुत्ते हैं. ये देख दोनों चुत्ते हैं. ओ गोरे भी लेना शुरू हो गए. अरे यार. मजा आया. मुझे ये बहुत अच्छा लगा था. गाना नहीं बजाया नहीं तो साला कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक कर देते हैं हरामखोर लोग.
करेक्ट एग्जैक्टली. वी हैव टू बी
अबे
केयरफुल.
तेरा ये फिल्टर हटा अभी. क्या तू बार-बार फ्रीज होता है?
है ये तो फिल्टर तो हट गया है. कब कब का हट गया भाई. ओके लेट मी जस्ट रीसेट एवरीथिंग. ये बेटर है.
हाँ ये बेटर है.
चलो गुड खत्म.